Alright, hello, welcome. My name's Frank. This is Premarket Wake Up. Community is called No More Paper Trading. Link is in the description. This is now more of my personal video log than anything else. Nobody listens, but that's okay. I think if somebody did now, I would feel different. But at the same time, if I just recorded this on my own PC and then never streamed it or anything, that would make me feel different as well. Anyway, thanks for the therapy. But here I am, Monday morning, and I feel like everything's brand new to me. But not brand new in a good way. Brand new in a bad way. I just feel off. Completely off. Going through the motions. I really don't like the weekends. I wish I could get to a point where I could trade through the weekend. Trade Bitcoin all weekend, even though I don't really like Bitcoin. Because I do spend most of Monday just getting back into the mix. But first today I want to go over some recent news, and I'll take a look at the overnight moves in the futures so far. Also a note, don't forget all the equities futures, the main equities futures are rolling over this morning. Some people started Sunday at the open, but the volume was still pretty high in the older contracts. I think it doesn't matter much today. But I think at the open you'll see a drop in the December contracts as people move over to the March. Alright, let's take a look at the news. It's going to be a quick one today. I want to get working even if I can. I seriously feel like I'm going to get a migraine. All right. Economic news. New York State Manufacturing Index already came out 3 minutes ago. It's bad. They were expecting better, but somehow it's worse. But of course, as always, that's good news for the market for some strange reason. Or maybe it just doesn't matter enough. In 56 minutes, so that would be 9:30, there's a Fed speech. A couple Fed speeches today, also at 10:30. Well, that's it. Later on this week, we got ADP, average hourly earnings, which is non-farm payrolls, and retail sales. I don't think it's going to be good. But it doesn't matter. Because they'll just pump money into the markets. Yeah, keep the bubble afloat at any cost. That is what they're doing right now. I mean, at some point it's going to have to pull back significantly. But timing it isn't like it used to be. You really got to get in with following liquidity into the market. In the way that they just create these debt vehicles that just keep pumping and pumping and pumping. It's insane. It really makes you think twice about everything. And not wanting to ever short anything, which is not good. You should be able to short a terrible company and be successful at it, not short a terrible company and it gets pumped for another 3 years because they just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. All right, that's enough. I don't want to get into this. I'm gonna, but I don't want to. Yeah, anyway, I was looking at the heat maps. I was wondering how. So this every morning I look at stocks in the various indices that made all-time highs. So it would have been stocks that made all-time highs on Friday. And I had a lot. I had a lot of them despite every indice being down on Friday, significantly down. So that made me think, was Friday just profit taking? We're going to resume heading upwards. So anyway, I came here to look to see what the heck was going on. The headlines say it was people rotating out of tech, but who knows? And the other thing is, I don't really know, does this track pre-market? Or is this still from Friday? One day performance. Which day? I don't know why they don't tell you here. But let's look at the headlines quick. Come on, internet. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, this is great. OpenAI is 2025 Yahoo Finance Company of the Year. What a joke. I can't believe that. Of all the great companies that really are doing great things this year, they pick OpenAI, a company that has not made money at all. They lose billions and billions and billions. Let's just read it. Let's just read it without me going nuts. Everywhere investors looked in 2025, there was OpenAI. The company struck mega deals with Microsoft, Oracle, Advanced Micro Devices, and NVIDIA. It amassed $1.4 trillion committed spending over the next 8 years. Committed. You notice how none of these commitments are in writing. None of them are completely 100% good to go. And they keep announcing them. They keep announcing them. But none of them, and even the mega deals, the so-called mega deals, where is the money? I heard someone say, this guy who's ravenously bearish on AI, he's like, where are these GPUs that everyone's buying? Where are they going? And it's just more of the circular financing crap. But of course, Yahoo, in their infinite wisdom, would pick OpenAI as Company of the Year. The site that, yes, I go to it to laugh. But the site that gets every single thing wrong. I think them and Jim Cramer are like par on par with each other. It pushed ambitions to build its own data centers. Just ambitions, not actually building, just the ambitions to. And it converted to a for-profit company with a potential $1 trillion IPO on the horizon. A for-profit company that's not making profit. Wait, you're going to see this guy. This company's going to crash. It's going to crash hard. Which is why I'm surprised they picked it, because the big people inside, they got to know it's crashing. So they'll be trying to soften the landing soon. OpenAI's private company shares have surged 150% this year as it landed a $500 billion valuation. Okay, this is a really weird way to say, this is a really weird quote. It's been a year where we have really hit kind of this day one of the next phase for OpenAI. Talk about Zoomer talk. It's like the way Zoomers talk. They say a bunch of stuff and mean nothing. We've seen a lot of the ecosystem really start to move towards us to help us create this future. I can't wait to see the comments on this. The world's most valuable startup. I guarantee people are going to point back to this article and make fun of Yahoo. Let's read the comments. It's going to be hilarious. By company of the year, I mean I assume you meant the company most likely to put us into a recession. The numbers in this article describing OpenAI's fantasies show that they will not be even remotely profitable by 2030 because the entire LLM market will be smaller than the amount of money they are spending. Yeah. Giving an award to a company a CEO that conned early investors seems like the most Silicon Valley thing ever. Yep. OpenAI, a company whose business model does not work and will never see a profit before it falls when the financial AI bubble bursts. The AI financial ecosystem itself is not sustainable, and these data centers are causing harm to the environment by using up a limited supply of drinking water and pushing up the cost of said water and electricity for everyday use by Americans. Yeah, it's already happening. Yeah. And usually, like 5 years ago, not 5 years ago, like a year ago, not even a year ago, 2 years ago, you'd have a bunch of people here saying, you don't understand. Nuh-uh, bro. You don't understand AI. It's the future. You don't see that now. Let's see if we can find one. Seems like the equivalent to when Sam Bankman-Fried was on the cover of Fortune being called the next Warren Buffett, 1 month only to be arrested 1 month. Only to be arrested a month or so later. Ah yes, the energy-burning, money-losing slot machine that we pinned our entire economic future on. What a company. This. Yeah. OpenAI will fail. There are too many cheaper alternatives that are better. Yeah, so even if you think AI is the future, there's free resources out there right now. It's only been, I was going to say it's in the last 6 months, OpenAI has been beat on every metric by free LLMs out there. So what do they have to offer except they were there first? They're really stretching out this we were first thing. NVIDIA is leading the AI revolution as best AI company in the world, regardless of OpenAI nomination. AI revolution. There is no AI revolution, you fools. Oracle is still dropping, so they may not agree. Why exactly are we celebrating a company actively working to upend society and cause massive unemployment? But it really won't. It won't cause unemployment, don't worry. The unemployment that's happening now is because people aren't buying stuff. Because inflation is so out of control. And that's, eventually even Google, even Apple, even Facebook have to make money eventually. So all those fools that they hired during COVID just because, government incentive and because the other ones were doing it, this is now the excuse to fire them. How did they win this award? They can't even keep their stock market changes up to date. Individual stock displays are always glitching. I used to use Yahoo Finance to gauge stocks along with my brokerage accounts. Not anymore. Yeah, I come here to laugh. Code Red. I do not trust OpenAI simply because of Sam Altman, better known as the con man, grifter, or liar. Check stop. Okay. The big question is what company will buy out the others? Yeah, this is what I'm saying, isn't the only game what justifies their growth potential. By the time they go public, if they even make it, it's going to be such a shit show. I can't wait. Let's all get in line like good little soldiers. Great, now I have to short them. Yep. How fitting for Yahoo Finance to give OpenAI the award. Big deal. What a joke. Seriously, what a joke. Wow, they are really pumping. They're trying to pump it up. This is pathetic. So I was maybe a little bullish coming into this open, but after seeing some of these headlines, they're scrambling. They're scrambling not to have a crash. Microsoft's AI advantage isn't all about OpenAI. So even Microsoft is trying to separate from OpenAI. And Wall Street loves it. Are you kidding me? Microsoft really hasn't been doing that great. We shall see. Microsoft and Yahoo Finance, yeah, they just really, it's just so crazy. This is disgusting. Company of the Year award winner OpenAI may still be deeply intertwined, but Wall Street thinks the real story is how the former has begun to dance in the surging world of AI all by itself. There was just articles coming out saying nobody wants Microsoft's products because of AI. They are losing customers because of AI. And I know you can keep floating up regardless of what your customers think, but that can't last forever. Maybe that's what we're seeing, like the regime change coming now is where, well, it doesn't really matter if anyone buys anything, because investors can just borrow money more and more and more and pump it more and more and more. And that could put the 50-year-old tech icon known for its Windows operating system, Azure Cloud Services, more recently Copilot Chatbot, in a prime position to add trillions to its market cap. How? Nobody's found a way to make money on it yet. Microsoft will be at a $5 trillion market cap in 2026 as the AI revolution hits its next stage of growth. Wedbush tech analyst Dan Ives told Yahoo. Okay, buddy. I should be writing all these people down so I can clown them later. We've seen a lot of the ecosystem really start to move towards us to help us create this future. She added that to meet high compute demand, what she said is the foundation that will power the next era of AI. The company will likely continue working with third-party companies. Cue Microsoft. Oh yeah, I'm sure Bill Gates is thrilled. Okay, they said that 3 to 5 years ago. How comes it's still not extremely powerful? Wish Microsoft would get their act together. Own multiple PCs, and ever since they closed out 10, I'm getting 2 to 3 massive updates per week. Sometimes programs work, then the next update they don't. While my Apple devices take an update once or twice a month. Yeah. People want less AI, more privacy in their lives. Yeah. So now you love AI but hate the semiconductors needed for AI to function? Pick a bias. Yeah. I mean, this, you can't hide. You can't hide the corruption here. No changes right now. They are going to try so hard to pump it today. That's why I'm now bullish. Because they're going to pump. They're going to do their best to pump money into this crap. They don't have the best model anymore. OpenAI may be feeling increased competitive heat to have the best model in the game, but it still has grand hardware and dishes. Who writes these sentences? I feel like coming soon, I'm only going to be able to read stuff written before 1980. What a run-on sentence. I would have gotten a D for writing this in high school. Good job, Grace. And they don't have the best model anymore. It's coming. The hardware is still very much coming. Okay. All right, this is gross. I'm getting sick. I think the straw is coming. The straw that breaks the camel's back. They know it's not sustainable. They know that other sectors of the markets are suffering. They're pinning their hopes on this AI junk. More and more and more. I just don't get it. I don't get how they think. I don't know. Talk about open corruption. Plain to see. Let's take a look at overnight prices. And I need to get out of here, and I need to work on something, and just not look at the market today. ES up in the overnight. After initially falling because Bitcoin fell all weekend. Bitcoin kind of flattening out now. I did short it up here because it is looking bearish on RSI. But again, I'm trading like the way price was acting 2 months ago. I really need to remember that it's not like that anymore. It's almost like weakness. When weakness appears, because retail doesn't want to buy this junk, and anyone with a brain doesn't want to buy this junk. So when weakness appears, when the volume gets lower of buyers, they flip a switch And the algorithms just buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, pumping up. So you'll see all the signs, all the normal signs that lower highs, lower lows, lessening volume, MACD's going down, RSI is trending down. You'll see even areas of resistance building, and then boom, pump. I don't know. I gotta find a way to make money off of it. Becoming a permanent bull? But then it always usually culminates in like a huge sell-off. Which I guess I can recognize the sell-off and step away. And until then, I'm a perma bull. And I'm talking for like short-term bounces or pullbacks. I was a mean reversion trader 2 months ago, and that worked awesome. You wouldn't have these big spikes up that are randomly pumped. We'll see. NQ, same story here. Russell sitting right now at, what pivot point is that? At the R1 pivot point. We'll see what happens there. Not quite as strong as the others. Yeah, maybe it is. The Dow also up. Gold was up, but is now falling kind of flat. Oil falling again. I think oil or gold, one of the two, is rolling over later this week. I gotta double check, but I think it's 17th or 18th. I don't know. Let's see what happened with natural gas. I was trying to catch the bottom there. Something didn't seem right to me. They were saying, oh, natural gas was down because warmer than normal temperatures. But if you look, we don't have normal than warmer temperatures. And there's all sorts of shortages of propane, which I know that's not natural gas, but so something didn't seem right. It still doesn't. We'll see. Let's take a look at the VIX, and then I'm out of here. VIX futures overnight slightly down. The S&P VIX going down quite a bit. NASDAQ VIX is not open yet. Let's take a look at the dollar. It's down, but quick spike up there right now. I wonder what happened. The euro's up. Kinda until now. So something happened with the euro. And the Japanese yen. That's got a spike down recently too. Or something happened with the dollar. We'll see. We'll see what that caused, if that caused anything in equity market. No. That's strange. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. We'll see.